Hey peeps! So, right off the bat, you can see that this is going to be a very different video. So, I've got some big news on the horizon, but I'm not going to share it just yet. I'll wait until it's a little bit closer to the time. But in the meantime, I've come into possession of this really cute desk. But as you can see, it's the colour is a little bit much and the paint work is really not that brilliant, and it's actually failing in places and it looks like it's taken a bit of a beating. And I'm really not all that fond of the colour either. It's a beautiful little solid wooden desk, so I think it's a vintage one that they used to use in classrooms once upon a time, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, it's mine now, and we're going to go and make it beautiful again. I've also got some other wooden furniture pieces that I've been meaning to do something with, but they've been in use. So it turns out I'm going to actually be able to start working on some, so maybe I'll make some furniture makeover videos in the run-up to the big news. And in the meantime, we're going to get this done. I'm just going to get this quickly washed down and dusted off, and then we're going to start applying some paint stripper. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I'm probably going to make a lot of rookie mistakes, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I have my stripper, gloves and brush, and I'm just going to pour some into this little pot here and start getting it on. I think I'm going to do one section at a time, so we'll start with the very top of the desk. Alrighty, so here we go. I'm not going to get all of this on video, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do quickly. I'm just going to put a nice generous coat of this paint gel, well, paint stripping gel on the top, and then we'll see where this goes. Also, I'm doing this outside and it really stinks, so make sure you're in a well ventilated area, people. Okay, so it's been about half an hour and I've done a little bit of an experimentation. As you can see, I've put some plastic wrap or cling film over the top, as that's a tip that I've seen on some tutorial videos. Apparently it's supposed to just help keep things a little bit moist and warm and just help that reaction of lifting the paint a little bit better. So I've done that on both the seat and the top here, and I've also experimented on thickness, so I've put it on pretty thick, but then I put a little bit extra on here just to see how much I would need to get it off. So we're just going to take a look under, and then I'm going to begin scraping. Oh yeah, look at this. This is the part where I put a lot of gel on. And this part over here just has the original amount that I put on, and as you can see it's not as reactive. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this end here and the seat here, which is where I put the thick coat on, and apply some more on this part here, so I can start getting this this nasty red paint off this beautiful little desk. Okay, so this is the seat part, the bench. As you can see, it's started to come away really nicely, so I'm going to take my plastic scraper. I'm trying to do this one-handed here, and just go ahead like this and start taking all the paint away. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this off camera, just to let you see a little bit. I think I might need to reapply some stripper, but we'll see. So yeah, this is basically what I'm going to be doing. So this is the third day of working on this little desk. I've finally managed to get the majority of all the paint off, although it still looks rather red. And holy crap, it looks way worse than when I started. But you have to keep in mind that it will get worse before it gets better. So I'm out of product, and there's still a few little patchy areas, namely on the inside here. But I have a couple of electric sanders, so I'm just going to take it out and just sand the rest off. And I think judging by the state of the wood, it could use a little bit of a freshen up anyway. So yeah, the main thing is that horrible thick, God knows how many layers of paint is for the most part off. So sanding it should just make it look a whole lot better and finish getting everything else off. So I'm going to get to work on that, and I will show you some little progress shots and the finished result once I'm done with the sanding. Alright, so I've just done some sanding, believe it or not, and I've managed to give it a good once over with the sander and remove what I can and smooth any rough edges out. However, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get all of this red paint off completely. I think that's a little bit beyond the capabilities of the sander that I have at the moment, and it's going to take way too much time that I'm willing to put into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and give it a good going over with this wire wool and some green soap to degrease and dust off all the debris, and then I can begin to paint. But my plan has changed for the colour scheme a little bit, because yeah, it's just the state of the wood really isn't that brilliant, and even so I can see over the years that the wood is just permanently marked, and no amount of sanding was removing this paint and these scratches here. So I'm sure it can be done, but I'm a noob, and to get to this stage has already taken me about 2 weeks from when I started filming. So I'm just going to do what I can, and I'm going to scrap my idea for the natural wood with a stain finish and just go with a light grey and white theme, and it's going to be alternating, but you'll see what I mean as I progress. So I'm just going to get this washed down, and then we can begin the fun part. Day 22. So I've got the first coat of the first colour in the places where I intend to have that colour, as you can see. But there's a little bit of an issue, and I don't know if you can really notice any grey, because I can't. I certainly can't. But this is supposed to be light grey, and honestly, it's pretty much white. There's no hint of grey to that at all. So I'm a little bit annoyed about that because it kind of ruined my plan B a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say ruined. It adapted it. Let's try and stay positive here. It adapted my plans. So in between the rainy periods where I couldn't work on this, I've gone and bought a couple of extra additional items because I can't work or make it work with white on white. It will just look like two different shades of white, and it's really not what I envisaged for this little desk. So I'll just show you some of the things that I've got so you can see what I'm working with. Right, so this is the one that I've opened and used, and as you can see it says light grey. You can see the colour that's supposed to be, and it's really not a match. I mean, you can even see from this dripping on the pot itself, it's just, I'm sorry, but that is not grey. I've never worked with chalk paint before, so maybe it's something to do with the pastel nature. I don't know. But yeah, that to me is not grey. No.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No.
So this is just the normal white chalk paint colour. So that with this that's not going to fly. So I've gone and bought a darker grey, which is, if you can see through that, black sesame. So I'm hoping, even though this one shows clear light grey on the swatch on the sticker here, and it's clearly very different, this at the very least will be a grey, even if it's not as dark as what it says there. Also, I've gone ahead and bought some of these decals, and I'm going to obviously be painting these, not leaving them in the natural wood look, but these are for the sides here and here, and just as a little extra flourish to make it look a little prettier, and we'll see what we'll do. I've got an idea of what I want to do with them, but I've just had another idea, so I think I'm going to go with option 1 rather than 2, but I'm going to play about, and I'll keep you up to date on what's going to happen with these. But either way, these are going on the desk. So I'm just going to start setting up, and I'm going to put the second coat on the I'm not going to even call it grey. I'm going to put a second coat of this not grey onto the areas, and then once that's dry I can start taping it off and putting the second colour down. As you can see, I haven't really taped it off, and things got a little bit sloppy here, but that's okay because these are going to be dark. It will be painted over, it will hide it. That's not really a big issue, so that's more of me being economical with the painter's tape, because you know it's really not necessary. Only if you want it to look pretty at every stage, I suppose. But yeah, that's a thing. There's a couple of changes that I'm going to make though, because this here I painted the not grey, but I'm going to put that in a dark grey because I think that will be nice to break up the colours a little bit there. And this little part in the middle here, see, I'm actually going to do that a darker grey as well, because I think that would be a nice contrast. So I'm going to stop talking now and put the phone down, and we'll catch up a little later when I'm a bit further along. So now all the touch-ups are done, I'm moving on to the second to last step, and as you can see here, I'm going to be gluing with some wood glue these painted decals onto the side of the desk, and this is how I've decided to have them, like this. So I think that looks nice like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and glue these in place, and then I can do the other side, which will have the same. And I think tomorrow, if I have time, I can put the finishing protection coat on there, and then we can have a look at the whole thing when it's completely finished. So I finally finished putting on the protection coat, the shellac. So you can see it looks a little bit shinier here. So the reason I've done that is just to protect the paint because it's water-based. So if it does get dirty, because Liam's been crawling over it with his dirty little hands, it's easy to wipe clean and it doesn't take any of the paint off with it. So that's always a good idea to do if you're using chalk paint, or if you just want to protect your painted piece in general. So you can do beeswax, that's also another thing, but I wanted to use a shellac, so yeah, everything wipes off. But anyway, I'm waffling again. So now for the very final piece, I have these little soft felt pads, self-adhesive ones, that I'm just going to stick on the legs here. And this is just to protect the floor from any scratches, and also so that the bottom doesn't get too scuffed up here. So I'm going to put them on, and then I can show you finally what the desk looks like all finished. And of course I'll put some photos in at the end so you can see the before, during and after. And yeah, so I'm going to get these on now. I've actually just noticed, you can see here, a little bit of a dirt spot. This is where my son kind of got all excited and put his dirty hand on it. So this is what the shellac coat can do. You just take a damp cloth, wipe it down, and as you can see, it doesn't take any of the paint off with it. It just makes it very easy to clean. So that's always nice. So here it is, all finished, and I must say I am really happy with the result.
Hello, sexy banana. Very good, very nice. Very good, very nice. Hello, Nicki Minaj.
Now I've done a sand down and a revarnish of my patio table, but I have never done something like this before, so this is my very first makeover attempt with an old piece of furniture. So what do you think, guys? I'm happy with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thanks for watching. As always, it's much appreciated. Much love, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Are you already getting down to serious business? Thanks for watching, peeps.